What else do we have here? Oh yeah. The title of this video is "A Damaged Woman Will Not Appreciate a Good Thing Until Access is Revoked." Let's check it out.
A damaged woman will not appreciate a good thing until she no longer has access to it. I dated a guy. He was incredible. We were young. He had his life together. He had a plan. He was respectful, a gentleman. He was a good person.
Right.
But I was damaged and unable to receive what he wanted to give me, which was love and respect. So eventually, he got tired of it. He left. He didn't make a scene. He didn't disrespect me. He was just done. But what he said forced me to look at myself. He said, I hope you heal so that you can receive all that you deserve. I still love you. And that crushed me. Do you hear me? Crushed me. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I lost him. It took me to lose a good person and deal with unhealed people for me to realize that there's a shortage of good people. And if you find a good person, man, you better hold on to them because it might be a very long time, if ever you find another one. I looked for him in practically everybody, and I never found him.
Damn.
So I don't know. Be mindful.
All right, guys, this is a rare moment here. You have a woman who's saying, hey, I once had a good man and I had to lose him in order to realize what I had. There are many people in this situation. I believe that you rarely get to see this or hear this. I remember actually listening to another video that was talking about, have you ever heard a woman admit that she messed up and she was the reason something happened in a relationship? And, my male audience here, because it's mostly male audience, if you think back, it's rare when it happens. So when you see a woman who's honest in this type of a situation, then you can respect it. You can respect it. Unfortunately for her, though, it sounds like she hasn't till this day being able to get that back, what she had. Usually when I see this happening, it's usually the type of man who's just getting used and abused in his relationship. He's the type of guy who's the, providing type, and he does everything he believes is right, maybe to a fault, allows a woman to walk all over him. And then finally he gets fed up. Good for him, right? Good for this guy, and decides to walk away. And I think he learned something too, man. I think you get to a point too as a man where you say, never will I allow a woman who doesn't appreciate what I bring to the table to take advantage of me and to use me, to disrespect me. And what you don't want to do is harbor that hate, because there's a lot of people who hate and anger, right? Where you walk around with this anger inside of you. You want to work through that and come out empowered on the other side. It may take a few years. It takes time. And I've been there, man. I've been through situations where I've been like, man, you look back at how maybe you were in a situation that didn't serve you and you were being taken advantage of. It's a good lesson. Take some time to get over. And it's good for you in the long run. Let's read a few of these comments. Top comment who says, you've taken accountability. Most women are not like this. And a few comments here. This person says, unfortunately, it's true. And somebody else who says it is very, 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 very rare to hear a Black woman take accountability for a failed relationship. I actually was waiting for her to place some type of blame on the man. Okay, somebody else here says, it hurts to be a good man. Here's somebody else who added, I tell people often you can't replace good people. This woman here says, honestly, this applies to any damaged person, so on and so forth. Somebody else here added, need more conversations like this in our community. This chick here says, so beautifully said. It takes a lot of courage and accountability to realize that sometimes we are, in fact, the problem and blocking our blessings. I hope you find someone like him again. See here. Yeah, interesting. I also think this is part of the challenge of growing up in today's society and everybody really not knowing what they're looking for. And especially if you've never seen it in your own family, right? If you've never seen what a good man looks like, then you don't know what it's like to be in a situation where you can't usually find a man who's healthy for a marriage, right? Somebody who's willing to settle down, because we know more men today are kind of hesitant to settle down and marry. So you're throwing away good men, and eventually you're going to realize that you effed up. But if you don't have that, you weren't raised up to recognize that. You don't have men in your family who tell you straight up, who tell you, because I've seen shit. I've seen parents, tell daughters to not ruin something good, and I think that's very, very, very needed when it's necessary. But without that guidance, without somebody calling you out and saying, hey, you have a good thing right there, be careful, pay attention, you need that. I've had plenty of situations in my life, and not just with women, right? With situations and seizing opportunities where you need somebody outside who's been through there, recognizes what it looks like, a good opportunity looks like, in this case, a man, so on and so forth, a husband. And if you're a man, having someone who can recognize even a wife, right? If your goal is to get married, you need that. If you're a man, you should go out and seek that, wise counsel and other people who've been through what you're trying to accomplish. Moving on.
I can't imagine myself living without you. I can't. So you know what? Babe, will you marry me?
There's no way, bro. There is no way that this is real. I refuse to believe it. This man started off with tears.
Can't imagine living without you. So you know what? Babe, will you marry me?
No, this has to be some type of a skit. Top comment here says, us trying to get a free dessert. That's hilarious. Somebody else here added love on. This person says love on the spectrum. Yeah, that show is hilarious. Which episode is this? One of many. That's funny. That's funny. Just hooting and hollering. Somebody else who says, so y'all both playing in these people's restaurants like this? Proposals, man. Proposals. The loudest proposal ever. I can't normalize proposing in private and then making a bizarre public proposal. They have to be married.
After making,
hold on, let's see here. They have to be married. Yeah, they're already married. This video was viral, and I thought to myself, now why would you do that? This man's about to get rejected. Turns out he's already married right here. I personally think we need more women proposing to men. I think that needs to happen. At this point, I've only reported on a few videos, but I think that trend needs to pick up because, and this isn't for all the women, right? I'm talking about the women who claim to be strong and independent. We need to see more of this. We need to see more of them getting on one knee, proposing. The few that I've done so far were actually kind of funny to watch. And it's always awkward because, you have the guy there and there's a part of you that's wondering if he's actually freaking out or if he's actually enjoying the whole situation of being proposed to. The men that I know would not want to be proposed to at all. I'll shoot the question back to you guys, though. Would you be okay with a woman proposing to you? Is that something you'd be okay with? Here we have a woman who's talking about, I proposed as a woman. See what she's talking about.
How aggressively people felt about women proposing. I never realized quite how aggressively people felt about women proposing until I proposed. I get that it's not the norm, but people sincerely get so afraid about it. And I'm like, are you okay? My girlfriend and I got engaged last night, so I can finally talk about it. The crazy thing is, I thought
my girlfriend and I, did she say girlfriend or boyfriend?
My girlfriend and I got engaged last.
That's not what we're here. That's not what we're here to listen to. Let's see. Wow, I'm looking at all these videos of women proposing. I think you guys have seen all these videos before. Here, I'll bring them up on screen so you guys can check these out. Right, there's this one. This is a chick who was proposing at the restaurant, and I think she got turned down. Yeah, this is a sad day for this chick. She got turned down. There was this one. This one's a pretty popular one too.
To him,
Now you know this is real because you just saw that group of people. Those are not extras.
she proposed to him.
That's crazy.
To me.
Then you had this
His
one.
daughter, she said yes. His mom said yes. His sister said yes.
She
My guy was covering his face. I think he was embarrassed.
So I was watching this proposal and I thought it was so cute. And then I realized that it was a woman proposing to her man. If there's something that I just can't ever get behind, it's women proposing to men. And anytime I see a video like this, I always respond because it makes me really sad. It makes me sad because it makes me believe these women will not get to experience feeling special. Because here's the thing. I find it hard to believe that these women that propose to men don't ever bring up marriage in their relationship. I find it hard to believe that they don't tell their partners, I want to get married, marriage is important to me. And I find it hard to believe that they just wake up one day and say, wow, I really love this man. I'm going to do a surprise proposal for him. What I think happens is these women talk about marriage to their partners. They're not being heard. Their partner's not really doing anything. And then they decide to take matters into their own hands. Because to have to change the dynamic of something that is typically a man asking for your hand is kind of a red flag to me. And I see comments about, oh, but women want equality, or wow, well, the men should be spoiled too. First of all, yes, women want equality in basic human rights and equal pay. And absolutely spoil your man. That doesn't mean you have to be the one asking him to marry you.
Why?
Of course, we don't know everybody's situation, but this is a reminder to women out there that.
So she pretty much just said that women want all the benefits without the hard, challenging parts of equality. But are we surprised? Are we surprised? Right? These would be the same type of women who try to convince you that men and women are not different. Then there's this one. This one I think was one of the most cringe, and I mean just cringe proposals.